What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 39, and we start today's episode with some frustrating news here, because for the second time this season we see that Paul Georges has broke his ankle. Yes, can you believe it? In the last game against Fulham, he hit the deck after an awkward challenge, and we now find out he's broken his ankle once again. He did this on the season opener against United, now he's done it in the last game as well. So Paul Georges is going to miss 6 months of his first season at Middlesbrough. How about that? That is so frustrating. I don't know if it's the same ankle or a different one to the first one, but it is just so frustrating that he's once again broken ankle and will miss almost the remainder of the season.
Well, the visiting team have been really entertaining us with some great attacking football. And actually, they're the top scorers in the league so far.
Yeah, maybe they'd fancy themselves to grab one or two here, the form that the strikers have been in.
And coming into the first game of today's episode here, we will take on Southampton away at St Mary's. And a question for you guys as well to start today's episode off too. What half length do you usually play on in career mode? Because in this episode, you're going to see the first game played on 8 minutes, the second played on 6, and the third played on 4 minutes. I just wanted to vary it up really and see what the difference was I found in action and chances created during the games. But yeah, question for you guys today. What half length do you normally play your games of in career mode? I know some people that play on 4 minutes, some people say it's too long to do any more than that, some people on 6, some people on 8 like myself, but some people play on even longer, like 10 minutes plus. I'd like to know what half length you guys normally play your games career mode on though. Let me know in the comment section down below. Still, for the first game of today's episode here, we would indeed take on Southampton away at St Mary's, coming on the back of that 1-0 victory against Fulham at Craven Cottage in the last game in the last episode. Now taking on Southampton. The first half was all about the Saints, but in the second half, just 5 minutes after the restart, we would open the scoring through Saido Berahino scoring once again. Right now, Vieto is not performing to his usual self, but his strike partner is picking up the slack. Another goal for Saido. The former West Brom man sidesteps his man, comes inside, and how about this for a goal as well? We didn't get a goal decision system, which was kind of interesting, but Fraser Forster got a touch on the ball, tipped it onto the underside of the bar, but it just crossed the line by like a millimetre, I swear. Came out again, but the referee must have got the alert on his watch as he sends us back to the halfway line for the kickoff. So Saido with the goal. He's now hit double figures as well, like Luciano Vieto, so 2 in the same season. We had none last year, and it's Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 1, as we take a shock and undeserved lead as well. We should have made it 2-0 though, just a few minutes later. This shot by Wilson was well saved by Fraser Forster, and Diego, the ball fell to him there, but I couldn't keep the shot down as I skied it into the stand, so a bad miss there, and it was still 1-0. But how about this though? What a save this was by Donnarumma, and then De Sciglio's Italian colleague clears the ball off the line as it was still 1-0. A big stop and clearance there from the Italian boys at the back, and with 20 minutes to go, we release Wilson down the left-hand side here, looking for a second goal. He sweats it across the face of goal, picks out Luciano Vieto, and boy did that feel good. Usually I don't cut the ball across the face of goal like that unless it's a drill cross. And this one wasn't exactly a cutback because we weren't one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but I saw Vieto in the area and I thought to myself, Wilson's known for scoring goals in the final 20 minutes of games, but for this game here, I've got to give up the chance with him and give it to Luciano. He needs a goal. Vieto needs to score, and he does. His goal drought ends there. Not really a goal drought, but a mini goal drought, a mini slump ends there, and it's Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 2. So we really kicked it up a notch in the second half, really improved and went up a gear in the second half, looking to do much better in the first half where we were terrible. But directly after that goal from Vieto, Southampton would get themselves back in the game here and half the deficit with just over 15 minutes to play. Harrison Reed, who always has a stormer against me whenever he's on the pitch. You know, there are some players you play against when you play against an AI team, and there's always that one player that does well. Harrison Reed always does this for Southampton. For Arsenal, often it's Aaron Ramsey. Whenever I play the Saints, Harrison Reed always does something against me. Either his passing's perfect or he pops up a goal here and there. It's a good goal by Reed though, as he cuts inside there, and Southampton do half the deficit and make it 2-1. They didn't really create too many chances after that though, and in stoppage time we had a chance to wrap the points up in the 90th minute. And check out what I decided to do here with Diego. I went for goal as opposed to a cross, and I found the back of the net as well to make it Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 3 in one of the weirdest goals I think I've scored in FIFA in a very long time. Of course, the new tactical free kick and the new corner routines as well, I haven't really gotten with them too well. I'm not very good at angling the cursor into the right areas and getting the right amount of power on it. it. So for this one, I thought, because my goal conversion rate is so poor from tactical free kicks where I cross the boys in the box, I thought I'd try and catch Fraser Forster out, and I did with Diego Menendez. Does it again, pulls off a genius piece of skill, and those are the moments right there that separate the good players in my careers from the legends. Those sort of things where they do something that you just wouldn't expect before it happens. Those are the moments that basically set the players apart from one another, and Diego gets the goal there to wrap the points up and make it 3-1. I'll be honest, it's a horrible piece of goalkeeping. I want to show you it straight away. It's a horrible piece of goalkeeping for Fraser Forster, but the curl on this shot, you'll see it from this third angle the best. It's unbelievable. Menendez has such a high curve rating. He proves it here. Look at the way that bends from outside the post to go into the top corner. Don't get me wrong, Forster should be doing better. He gets across his line so poorly, the footwork is terrible there, but it's an incredible piece of genius from Menendez when everyone in the stand, everyone in the stadium, everyone watching the game was expecting him to cross the ball into the box. He goes for goal instead and finds the back of the net. It was just a really bizarre game, this one though, like a really weird 3-1 victory for us. And don't get me wrong, I feel as though it's an undeserved victory. I'll be honest here, hold my hands up. I think Southampton deserved at least a point for all the attempts they had, but I thought we played okay in the second half and really kicked it up a gear. And that was why I was so pleased to make sure we would get another 3 points and another big win there. So Southampton won with us for free, and again, that goal from Diego, it was just so nice. I thought I'll just try it, I'll just try it and see if it works out, and it did as well. So Diego, maybe that'll be a speciality. Sometimes my career mode players have a certain speciality. Maybe that'll be Diego's. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still, for the second game of today's episode here, we will take on Espanyol away in Spain for our Europa League round of 32 first leg here, coming on the back of that 1-0 victory, 1-0 victory, 3-1 victory against Southampton in the last game just a moment ago. But this game got off to a terrible start for us because just 3 minutes in, Javi Lopez would give Espanyol the lead here and make it 1-0, and it was really poor from me. They were just 3 minutes into the game, they chipped the ball down the right hand side. George Friend seemed to have been covered, instead he cut inside, went for goal, and Jordan Pickford in for Donnarumma in this game. Thought I'd change back to Picks for this one and see what he could do. Couldn't stop the shot as it creeps into the bottom corner and goes in to the back of the net. So Espanyol 1, Middlesbrough 0, and it is a goal for the host. But as you can see here, 10 minutes after that goal, we tried to get ourselves back on level terms. Pickford starts to counter-attack here after catching the cross. Fisher plays a brilliant long ball towards Callum Wilson, who controls it well, goes for goal. The goalkeeper tips it onto the post, but there is Saido Berahino to turn in the rebound and make it 1-1. So I thought I'd try out the counter-attacking throws that you can do now in FIFA, which I love, by the way. I love the fact that EA have added that sort of way to make your goalkeepers better on the break, to start up counter-attacks. Thought I'd try one, and it worked there as well as he went on the break. And what a ball by Fisher, then the shot hit the post, and then Berahino, what a run he's on right now for goals. He's looking so good, and just a completely different player compared to last year. So Espanyol 1, Middlesbrough 1. We had the away goal I crave so often in Europe, and with 30 minutes to go in the game, we were still tied at 1-1. We had a late chance to win the game here with Callum Wilson finding Fabio. He picked out Josh Onoma, whose first shot was saved by Roberto, but the rebound came straight back to him, and Josh Onoma, who came off the bench at half-time, gives us the winner with just over 12 minutes on the clock. And of course, that all-important second away goal in Europe as well. You guys know I love those away goals in Europe. I crave them so much, and we get 2 of them here away in Spain. And Josh Onoma as well. He's just one of those players, I have them all the time in my careers, who doesn't always get on the pitch, but whenever he does something good. It's another goal for the former Spurs boy this season, and it's 2-1 to the Borough. And he could have got his second goal of the game as well in the 81st minute. Good hustle to win the ball back here, went through the shoot, but it was a brilliant save by Roberto though, who in all seriousness here, didn't just keep Espanyol in the game at the time, but also keeps them in the tie as well. How we scored that third away goal, I would have said the tie was basically over, because Espanyol need to score 3 goals away at the Riverside Stadium, which I don't think any club has ever done to us in the entire series. If that's wrong, someone can correct me in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure he never conceded more than 3 goals. So if we scored that goal, it would have been all over in my opinion, but Roberto makes a great save there on the one-on-one and does keep Espanyol in the game. So 2-1 the final score, we get the win, and yes, both of the goals we scored were rebound goals. First shot hitting the post after the save by the goalkeeper, and then the second one being a straight save from Roberto. But at the end of the day, we'll take it. We showed resilience there to come from behind, get ourselves the win, and that's a really important result. And again, that second away goal could prove all the difference. Now Espanyol need to score twice at Riverside Stadium, and even though we're not defending as well as we did last year, I fancy our chances of going through to the round of 16. Still, for the third and final game of today's episode here, we would once again take on Southampton away at at St Mary's, this time in the FA Cup. So you see all 3 competitions in today's episode, the League, the Europa League, and now the FA Cup as well. I picked a really interesting lineup for this game. It was a mix of first team bench and also resis as well. And Southampton had the first chance of the game as well. Victor Valdez, the forgotten man, starting for the first time in quite some time, making a brilliant save and keeping the score at 0-0. However, just past the half-an-hour mark, Charlie Austin would give the Saints the lead as the former QPR striker slots the ball in at the near post, and Victor Valdez won't keep a clean sheet on his return to duties in the first team. So Austin with the goal. It was a good little finish there into the bottom corner after shot in the post. Can't blame Valdez for it, no doubt about it. It was just getting back to his feet, but Austin gets the goal, and it is 1-0 to the Saints. With 9 minutes to go in the first half, we tried to respond and get ourselves back on level terms with the first chance of the half for us. Adama slides it inside towards Vieto here. Virgil van Dijk couldn't cut the pass out. Vieto goes for goal from a tight angle, but hits the side netting and goes behind for a goal kick. So at half-time the score is 1-0, and at full-time the score was also 1-0 as well. We couldn't carve out any chances in the second half, and to be honest, I put this down to tiredness more than anything else really. Being in 3 competitions right now, doing everything we can to stay in the title race in the Premier League, not just in the top 4, trying to get ourselves through into the round of 16 Europa League, and also worrying about the FA Cup as well. It's just one competition too many for us right now. We don't have a thick enough squad, we don't have a good enough squad, and enough strength in depth, in my opinion, to compete for all 3 trophies in the second season. I really don't believe that. So this competition gets sacrificed in a way. We did pick a really interesting lineup. Yes, there were some first team players, but I rested quite a lot as well. The truth of the matter is, we couldn't compete on all 3 fronts. One got to go, one had to go, and in the end, it's the FA Cup. And I don't mind too much because the ball wants to reach the round of 16 stage. This was the round of 16 stage, so I'm not really too fussed about it either. But that will end today's episode of the FIFA 17 career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like. Likes are, of course, much appreciated, and they really help the channel grow as well. Much love to you, and have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of career mode very soon.